Hello Flight Simmers, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Sim, and welcome back to Frankfurt. Today we are going transatlantic in the Horizon 787-9 mod, which is a very good aircraft actually. I've done a couple of test flights with this one, and I think it's really, considering its freeware, it's a very good aircraft. So I am looking forward to take this bird across the pond today. And yeah, we are doing it on a flight from Frankfurt to Toronto, which is operated daily by the Lufthansa Dreamliner. Flight number is going to be Lufthansa 470. And also we are flying on VATSIM. We are logged into the network. Seems like we have Frankfurt Tower online at the moment, which is very cool. And then let's see, if we are very lucky, maybe we can also catch some ATC into Toronto later on. That would be super cool indeed. So yeah, here in Frankfurt we are featuring the freeware, the virtual Frankfurt scenery, which is so nice to see that there's people spending their sort of free time on doing these sceneries. Yeah, which is very cool. But over in Toronto we're going to have the FlyTampa, which is going to look a lot better, certainly, since it's a good payware. That's not surprising. So we're looking forward to get to the scenery in Toronto as well. And yeah, GSX is loading the plane. Seems like the rear cargo door is not really simulated yet, but that's just a minor hiccup. And look at this VATSIM traffic. Beautiful 747 in there. Then there's a Condor A330, Lufthansa A320 next to us. So really good stuff. And ooh, what's back there? Is that a A350 taxiing out? Wow. We don't see this one so often on the network. Very good stuff. Alright, let's look at some of our flight plans. So first of all, SimBrief. It has been requested recently by some of you guys to show the OFP again, and so I will show today. Yeah, we're heading over to Toronto. Flight time 7 hours 52 minutes, which is surprisingly short for going transatlantic. We will burn 42 tons of fuel with a zero fuel weight of 166. And that's like 287 passengers in here and just like 4 tons of cargo on top, not much. So in terms of takeoff weight, far away from max takeoff weight, which is not surprising given an 8-hour flight on a Dreamliner. It's quite nothing compared to what this aircraft is capable of. So block fuel 49.5 tons, starting off flight level 360. And currently in action is runway 25, so we will depart 25 center, likely on the Oboka 3 Golf. We will check this out in a second. And yeah, here we can see the payload. So in total 37.5 tons of payload. Right, I think that's all we want to look at on here, but then I will also pull up Navigraph. Since that's quite interesting to see. We are heading on a fairly southerly route today for going westbound across the Atlantic, and the reason is the jet streams, which we can load in here if I can find it. Jet streams for flight level 380. So here you can see why, because the jet stream is very southerly today. So by going this route we are basically avoiding all of these strong headwinds. That's why we can take the southerly, very direct route actually. Right, and then Oboka 3 Golf departure. Let's get the overlay. So there's 2 versions of the Oboka. One takes you out to the south initially, then a big right-hand swing up to Oboka, and then there's the one which gives us an initial quick right-hand turn and then on to Oboka. I think this one only applies when there's currently no landing on runway 25 right, so it will actually be up to the controller which one we get. But yeah, either one is going to be quite fun. Right, yeah, let's keep it as short as that and kick things off in the flight deck. Alright, here we are in the beautiful Dreamliner cockpit. I haven't really done anything apart from switching on the power and switching on the nav lights. So let's start on the overhead and we will do the flow together. So IRS is coming to on, forward door power is coming to on, emergency lights are armed. Primary window heats are coming on. Passenger signs can come on. Oh, fuel pumps not yet, sorry. That's way too early. Anti-ice, I believe, can all come to auto. That makes a lot of sense. And since we don't have external air simulated yet in the Dreamliner, let's put on the PEX so we get some fresh air inside the cockpit and the cabin as well. Right, so overhead is completed, and now we can proceed down to the FMC, weight and balance, and this is actually quite cool since we can fetch all the data directly from SimBrief, and this will load up the aircraft just as we need it, which is super convenient. Right, okay, that's done. Initialize the flight. I'm actually not really sure what this stuff does, but for what it's worth, let's do it. And then as a next step, I would say we can pretty much get into contact with, let's see who's online. Ground is online, and get our clearance to Toronto. So ground's going to be 121855.
Departure climb via seat, initial climb.
That's very good. And for the Asus, let's pull it up. So departure Asus at Juliet.
Lufthansa 272, correct.
Runway use 25 center, transition 60, wind 10 knots, 210, cavalcade temperature 15, QNH 1016. Okay, pretty straightforward. 1016, let's press the B key, that's set. Frankfurt Apron, Gude, Lufthansa 470, information Juliet, requesting clearance to Toronto, please.
Lufthansa 470, Frankfurt Apron, hello, information Juliet, correct, cleared to Toronto. Boca Tree, Golf departure, flight plan route, climb via SIP, 5000 feet, walk 2047.
Clear to destination, Oboka 3 Golf departure, climb via SIT, altitude 5000 and squawk 2047, Lufthansa 470.
Lufthansa 470, correct.
Alrighty. Yeah, and that's the one we just saw on the chart, so 25 center, and it's going to be the Oboka 3 Golf, like that. For the arrival, although that's a very long time away, I'm just looking up, what do they typically use? I believe ILS 23, or 2 for left. I think 2 for left is quite common, not too sure. And we're going to fly the Imeba coming from Litak. Let's do it like this. Right, progress page. Oh, we're missing the performance position first of all.
Ryanair 147, correct.
Flight number, that's Lufthansa 470. Oh, we don't have the route yet. Of course, I need to request it. That was stupid. I should have done this first. But it should also be uplinked from SimBrief directly, which is very convenient. And now let's see if our departure and arrival survived that. No, they did not. So 25 center, Oboka 3 Golf, execute. Arrival to 4 left, Imeba coming from Litak, like this.
Lufthansa, I have here DHL 5 Papa Golf, if that's okay with you.
Okay, zero fuel weight, 166.4. Final reserves and alternate 5.4.
I'm afraid not, I can't fix the call sign.
Cost index, according to SimBrief, is 15. Not sure if this is accurate. I guess for most Dreamliners it's going to be a little bit higher than that, to be honest. Let's put this to 2000. That looks good. Now we can go legs data, and this should come down a little bit, even though we don't have a lot of headwind. coming
Lufthansa
from
774
12.9
Frankfurt,
to
apron, hello, information, kilo now current, cleared to Hamburg, Maroon 7, Mike departure, flight plan route, climb via SID, flight level 70, spoke 2051.
11.2. Yeah, just a little bit of headwind, very, very nice. Okay, Wiener, transition out of Frankfurt, 5,000.
Mike departure.
Right, so that's that. Now we can proceed to the performance calculation.
Lufthansa
Copy
774
FMC
correct.
data, 25 center, no intersection. Condition is dry.
Lufthansa
What
422.
was the weather again? That was
taxi via November 5,
210 at 10.
Lima, route short of November 3.
210 at 10, outside air temperature 151016. This is optimum maps, max optimum. Engine auto, center of gravity.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Golf, now I have you with correct
I
plan and
am
call
looking
sign,
at
ready
this
to copy.
one, which is 19.
Ready to copy, Lufthansa 5 Papa Golf.
19, calculate.
Lufthansa 5 Papa Golf, information, kilo
Okay, so
current,
that's
cleared,
assumed temperature,
Amsterdam, Maroon
flap
7,
5,
Mike departure,
D
right
rate
plan
takeoff
route,
2,
climb
select
via
temperature
SID, flight
49,
level
so that's a
70,
lot of
stroke
D
1000.
rate. Going transatlantic with so much D rate, but yeah.
Of
Of course, it's the Dreamliner. Right, okay, let's go back. I need to check if this is correct. So D rate 249, takeoff 5, 157, 61, 68. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so I would say this completes. Interestingly, this one is not copied over. I think it should be realistically. So we are all set on the FMC. Initial altitude 5,000.
contact tower 118.780. Bye bye.
We have a runway heading of 246. Yeah, that scrolls very slowly. .246, and we have a V2 of
Frankfurt apron, hello,
That's very
Lufthansa
small,
18 Bravo, stand Alpha 20 with kilo, requesting
168.
Alpha to Amsterdam.
Lufthansa 18 Bravo, Frankfurt apron, hello, information, kilo, cleared,
168 is set,
Amsterdam,
flight
Maroon 7, Mike
directors,
departure, flight plan route,
auto thrust,
climb
LNAV,
via
and
flight level
VNAV.
70, squawk 2067.
Cool, time to land in 1 minute, that's quite perfect.
Clear to Amsterdam by Maroon 7 Mike
Setting
departure,
the
climb
transponder
670,
code, which is
squawk
2047.
Lufthansa 18 Bravo.
Lufthansa 18 Bravo,
Like
correct.
that. Right, and now we just need to wait for GSX to finish, and the alignment, of course, that should be quick.
Information on
Right,
board
so
kilo,
in the meantime, we still need to wait a little bit
Lufthansa
for other traffic to
2441,
clear.
information, kilo,
A lot of traffic here right now, but we can complete the checklist. So pre-flight checklist is park brake set and fuel controls, which is a cutoff.
4,000 feet, squawk
And
2055.
before start checklist still has a minute of time here.
Okay,
It would be a little bit
Sierra for
too
departure,
early, but we can do some preparations. First of all, the trim needs to be set
2441.
to 7.5 for takeoff. There we are. Transponder code we have set, and in the meantime we can also fire up the APU. Lufthansa 470 requesting taxi, please. Correction, requesting pushback, please.
Lufthansa 470, after your company A320 has moved right to left behind you, your pushback approved into November 5.
After passing company A320, pushback approved into November 5, Lufthansa 470.
We are ready for pushback.
Right, finally. This took a while. Okay, before start checklist, flight deck door closed and locked. Passenger signs are on. MCP set V2 168, heading 246, altitude 5000. Takeoff speeds are inserted 157, 61, 68. CD preflight is completed. Trim is set. Taxi and takeoff briefing. Yeah, taxi we will talk once we need to talk about it. And beacons coming on right now. Oh no, it's this screen. Oh, I hate it. I get this so often. I couldn't really figure out why, if you guys have any idea why this happens. Luckily, we can just fix it by going to these settings and like
Condor 24 Alpha,
just doing it like this, and this will fix it, but it does return every now and then, which is super annoying.
One taxi behind, Condor 25.
Lufthansa 18 Bravo, stand Alpha 20, ready for push and start.
Okay, he is gone, so we are pretty much ready.
Lufthansa 18 Bravo, traffic is pushing adjacent. Actually, Lufthansa 18 Bravo, can you push onto area 2 facing northeast?
Area 3 should work for us.
Back facing northeast, 18 Bravo.
Onto area 2, if that's important.
On to area 2, facing northeast, 18 Bravo.
And 18 Bravo, I need you to set your squawk, please, 1000.
Squawk 1000, 18 Bravo.
Okay, we are pushing. Very good. Oh, still forgot some stuff.
Yeah, first Lufthansa 774, contact tower.
All the setup on the ground took so long that I actually forgot to
118.780
do the overhead. Okay, but now we're looking good. Beacons are on.
Papa Golf, you are now on November. I need you to continue via November 7
This
Lima.
is good. So let's fire up. Starting number 1.
Scandinavian 902, Mike. Left turn onto Lima and contact tower 118.780.
Left on Lima Tower 118.780, Scandinavian 902, Mike, danke, ciao.
Lufthansa 108 at Alpha 17, ready for push and start.
The station calling for Alpha 17, it's going to be a couple of minutes, I will call you.
Transport Grude Lufthansa 2 Lima Juliet, stand Alpha 38 Kilo Alpha, bitte.
Beautiful GE engines, and now it's also getting sunny outside. That's very nice. Okay, same procedure for engine number 2.
Lufthansa 2 Lima Juliet Frankfurt apron information Kilo cleared to Berlin Tobak 7 Mike departure flight plan route climb via SID flight level 70 squawk 1000.
Lufthansa 2 Lima Juliet cleared to Hamburg correction city Berlin Tobak 7 Mike departure climb via SID initially level 70 squawk 1000.
Right, spot on. Pushback point number 3. Cool. It's always nice to see GSX configs working out the way they are supposed to. Okay, looks like we have 2 good engine starts. So, APU is coming off. This is coming RTO, flaps 5. Oh, it's happening all the time. I need to fix this. Trim is set. Okay, let's do this first. I think it's because of frame generation, but I don't really want to go without it since I want to have the high FPS. Right, let's do a quick flight control check. Full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down neutral, and
Lufthansa 5 Papa Golf contact tower
rudder full left,
118,
full right,
780.
neutral. I think I took a little bit of movement out of the elevators there, that's why it's not going full detent, but that's fine. Checklist, anti-ice, not required recall. Is check, drag control, check, ground clear, APUs, shutting down.
360 radio check.
Before takeoff, flaps are set as well.
360, readability 5.
Thank you very much, information queue.
Lufthansa 470 is requesting taxi, please.
And all stations, Frankfurt Apron and Frankfurt Tower are closing. Monitor Unicom 122.8. I say again, monitor Unicom 122.8. Frankfurt Apron out.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Oh, okay, that's very unfortunate. No more ATC. I guess he was a little bit stressed out there. Too many stations. But okay, so it will be a bit quicker for us. Okay, taxi. Oh, why is this happening all the time? That's so annoying. Okay, I'm just trying without frame generation now for a bit to see if this really makes the difference. Although FPS are much lower now, just 25.
Lining up on way to Frankfurt. Frankfurt traffic, Lufthansa 2, Romeo Tango, ILS 25 right.
Frankfurt traffic, Lufthansa 470 Heavy is lining up runway 25 center, Frankfurt traffic. Alright, TARA. We can line up. There was just an A320 going out in front of us. So let's see how far he's out after our line up. So overhead panel is set. We got terrain on here and traffic. We have the transponder set. Checklists are completed. I would say we are all set for taking this bird across the Atlantic. Right, there he is climbing. All right. Approach is clear, and I think we can kick things off. Frankfurt traffic, Lufthansa 470 Heavy is departing runway 25 center, Frankfurt traffic. Alright, let's rock and roll.
Frankfurt traffic, Postman 6360, heavy push and start gate.
Let's see how this bird flies. Okay, power is coming up. And take off.
Traffic, Lufthansa 2 Lima Juliet, taxiing 25 center by November 7 and Lima.
Airspeed is alive.
Frankfurt traffic.
Power is set at just 83% and 1.
Via November 8 and Lima.
80 knots checked. Powerful engines on the Streamliner.
Traffic Lufthansa 108, taxiing 25 center via November 5 Lima.
Yeah, so just 30 FPS at the moment, but it's given it's only 30 FPS, it's running fairly smooth. Okay, still a bit of runway we are using here. Maxing out the D rate, I guess. V1, rotate. Let's go flying.
Traffic,
Okay.
Condor 24 Alpha.
Feels interesting on the rotation.
Via November 5 Lima.
Gears coming up. Cool.
Frankfurt traffic, Lufthansa 108 will follow.
I really love those engines. They look tremendously good.
Lima 5.
Frankfurt traffic, Lufthansa 238 landing up and taking off runway 18.
Yeah, now it feels much steadier on the controls. Was just the initial rotation felt a little bit wobbly. follow the flight director, overshooting the turns a little bit here. Right, flaps once. We checked flaps 1. Maybe I'm zoomed out a little bit too far. Yeah, maybe that's better. And let's go, yeah, let's go autopilot. Keep climbing. Flaps up. Alright, but yeah, I think indeed it was the frame generation causing this very messed up tearing. So now it's looking a little bit better. Okay, since we are offline on Unicom now, not offline, but on Unicom,
Traffic,
we can keep climbing like this. Then we have the lights coming off. This is looking good. Flaps are up after takeoff. Checklist is completed. And so we are on our way to Toronto. Nice. Enjoy the cruise, guys, and I shall meet you for a hopefully beautiful landing later on. Hello everyone, welcome back. Here we are, 7.5 hours later, just passing to 12,000 feet and heading into Toronto. And as you can see, it's a pretty thick cloud cover here below us, which we will need to go through in order to do the approach, of course. And yeah, seems like we're on Unicom for the moment. No ATC online, but that's okay. So let's talk about the arrival. We are flying the LETAC arrival, now just passing Imeba into Lephooks, where we have a hard constraint of 220 knots at 8,000, spot on. So we will try to meet those criteria, and then we are landing on 24 left. ILS 24 left is in use today, so we will be doing that. So basically, it's kind of simple, since the approach, the star, leads us very straight onto the approach. So it's going to be probably very simple to capture the localizer, and then just a normal ILS profile down into 24 left, which is not the longest runway, certainly long enough for us today, but it has 9,000 feet. So we will probably, depends on how early we touch down, but I guess we will go all the way to the end, to Delta 8. And then we need to watch out before crossing the other runway, because the space in between these two runways is very tiny, and 24 right might be used for takeoffs. So we need to watch out for this. And then we will probably taxi Delta back to the stand Terminal 1. I think over here, that's where the international flights park up. And here we also have the weather, so you can see we have winds 280 at 15, gusting 22. So it's a little bit of a Windy conditions today. Clouds as low as 3000, so that's very nice. -1 to 997. So good visibility, quite cold, and it's just the winds which are a little bit gusty. And for that very reason, we are below 10,000. So let's switch those guys on. So here's our approach. We will do flap 30, which gives us 149, and then we add half of the gusting speed to the for the wind correction, which so gusting was 22, so we will add 11, which gives us an approach speed of 160, which is quite high. 160 is kind of a high approach speed. So I have select auto brake 3, but I guess I will also most likely go pretty full on the reverse in order to not blow up the brake temperatures too much. Nice, and now we're going into the clouds. 1000 to go. I have set 8000 initially. Can continue down a bit lower. Yeah, so now I have frame generation on. It works really well up here, but of course getting closer to airports and traffic and everything, it gets a bit hard on performance. So let's see. I would just keep the settings as they are for now. Yeah, and I hope performance is gonna be okay heading into Toronto. Okay, speed dropping back to 220. That's spot on the VNAV and LNAV profile. So the aircraft is doing a very good job on that. And we will even need flap 1 for this. So speed checked, flaps are coming 1. Checklist incomplete, and that might actually be correct. I forgot that. Recall is checked other than checklist incomplete, of course. Auto brake is selected 3. Landing data VREF. We just discussed it. 149 plus 11 and minimum 747, which is a very cool figure. Approach briefing. Yeah, we have talked about the ILS. Go around altitude would be 3000, and we're heading off to the left in case of a go around. That's the very basic idea here. So that's being discussed. Approach checklist altimeters 29997, that's set as well. Next up will be landing checklist, I believe. Okay, now it wants to go down even slower, 205. I don't think there's a constraint for that, that's just the aircraft wants to do it. But we are still fairly far out, so I think that's a little bit too early. At 25 miles to go, I don't want to go too slow at this point. Then we can arm the speed brake. Okay, turning final and still 18 miles out, speed to 10. Looking very good so far, 1000 to go. You already can see the approach lights back there. Toronto traffic, Lufthansa 470 Heavy is on a 17-mile final for runway 24 left, Toronto. Okay, so that's done. Let's go approach. Not working. Localizer first. Vertical speed. Let's try to do a smooth interception here. This can actually count down to 3000, which is also the go-round altitude. 15 miles to go. Yeah, and I'm very excited to see how this aircraft handles on the approach, how it feels flying it manually. Why is it so dark up here? That's better. Okay, let's go flap 5. Speed 190. Oh, it's getting very dark in here. Let's make it a little bit brighter for us. Maybe like that. Okay, now approach mode. There we go. 12 miles to go. This is looking good. Yeah, so we are not going to use the HUD, although this is modeled quite nicely on the aircraft, in my opinion. However, I recently found out that Lufthansa is not using the HUD. The Dreamliners they have so far actually have it installed, but the new ones they will get will not have it. So the HUD is actually taped onto the overhead and it's not being used just because the SOPs do not cater for using the HUD. So it's quite interesting, but apparently this is how it works out sometimes. Okay, let's go flap 10. Like this. And yeah, let's go gear down as well. And once again, 160 is going to be the final approach speed, which is very high. Let's set the lights. Low as well, just for the looks of it. Flap 15, 17, now it's all these different flap positions. Let's go flap 20. Flap 25 and flaps full. Flaps 30 are set. Landing checklist is completed. Oh, now it's the bug returning. Beautiful. And now let's see. Maybe I will need to change these settings. Okay. Not sure. Not sure. Okay, let's take the aircraft. Actually, I want to go manual thrust today. And then we will also kill the autopilot like that. Okay, no, so frame generation is not working out on this one. I've switched it off. Okay, now let's focus on the flying. So a little bit of crosswind here, but that's fine. As long as we can maintain 30 FPS, I'm happy with that. Speed is dropping a little bit. Continue. And come on. Oh, a little bit of floater. Get down. There we are. Ooh, haha, I need to degrab. And reverse green. Diesel. It's very nice. Okay, and I think we can make this one. Idle forward manual braking. Nice, making those reversers work today. Cool. yeah, happy with this one. Should have done a little bit more degrabbing, but other than that, kind of happy with the approach and the landing itself. Right, welcome to Toronto, everyone. Let's do a quick clean up. Like that, and this is the other runway, but I haven't heard of anyone else departing. Toronto traffic, Lufthansa 470 is crossing runway 24 right. Right, landing lights. It's staying on, that's good. Ooh, look how bumpy this runway is. Okay, now let's continue straight ahead, all the way to Delta. And we take a right-hand turn. Okay, pulling into stand 179er, and yeah, seems like it's not not exactly rush hour here at Toronto. A little bit empty, but still looks very nice. I love the FlyTampa sceneries, and this is no exception to that. Right, let's bring it in slowly. Stop. Alright. Parking. Brake is set. APU is running. Killing engines 1 and 2. This is coming to standby. Hydraulics coming off. Ooh. Now that's a beefy shutdown sound. Wow, okay. Not bad. Not bad. Fuel pumps coming off. Beacons, Navalo can stay on. Seatbelts off. And this is looking bueno. Let's ask for deboarding. And then we just need to complete the shutdown checklist, which is completed. And this completes our flight. If we can get the external power to work. There we are. So here we are. Welcome to Toronto, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so what's there to say about this 787? I think it's really cool. I think it's probably on par with the Quality Wings 787. Maybe in terms of systems, the Quality Wings is maybe tiny notch better. But this is being worked on continuously, so this is basically getting better every day. And I really enjoy the external model. Engines look brilliant. It handles nice. Was a little bit strange on the controls during takeoff, but now for the landing it handled very nice. And this even resulted, I just looked it up, in a landing rate of 84 feet per minute. And that's not too bad, given a 22 knots of gusting wind from the right. So I'm fairly happy with this one. Alright guys, this completes our transatlantic journey in the Dreamliner, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care everyone, bye bye.